Hi everyone, and welcome to Spenelli Speaks. Today is going to be a different kind of video, and if you saw the thumbnail, you know that it's going to be quite delicious. I am starting a new series that will be covering recipes from one specific book, and I'm really excited. I received Jane Austen's table, which is recipes inspired by the works of Jane Austen, for Christmas this past year, and I thought, how fun would it be to do some recipes from here and show you all and share with you all those recipes. So this past weekend I got started and I did one of the breakfast recipes. I'm going to go ahead and share that with you today. Now, before we get into the recipe that I completed, I wanted to let you know a little bit more about the recipe book itself. Now, the recipe book does cover breakfast, picnics, luncheons, and light bites, dinner, trash and sweet things, which are ices, cakes, and puddings, and then entertaining, routes and balls. That didn't come out right, but you know what I mean. Anywho, there's a really nice introduction in the beginning, and then in the beginning of each section, like this is the breakfast section, it'll talk a little bit about what they would have eaten and that kind of thing. And then it goes into the recipes. Now, the first recipe that I did is this gorgeous recipe. This one is called Love and Friendship Pain Perdu. It's French toast. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this and go through the recipe. So this actually says, written when Jane Austen was 14, the hilarious Love and Friendship is, with its unlikely adventures and swooning heroines, a pastiche of the 18th century romantic novel. Austen wrote it to entertain her family, but fittingly dedicated it to her exotic cosmopolitan cousin, Eliza, who is the Comtesse de Fuleda. I do not speak French, as you all know, then newly arrived from revolutionary France, alongside the epigraph, deceived in friendship and betrayed in love. So each recipe will have a little bit of a snippet of that to kind of get you into the mood, I guess. And then it gives the recipe. So I'll go ahead and go through that, and while I'm giving you the recipe, you will see a little bit of the action that happened this weekend. So this serves 4, and it says the prep and cooking time is about 20 minutes, which I would say is pretty in line with the recipe. If you've ever made French toast before, it's not that difficult. But in this recipe, you have 4 thick slices of brioche bread, which, let me tell you, it's expensive. It was like $6 for a loaf of this bread, but I have to tell you, it was well worth it. It was really good. 2 eggs, 6 tablespoons of milk, 3.5 tablespoons of butter, 3/4 cup yogurt. I used Greek yogurt. 2 cups of raspberries. This calls for 3/4 cup of blueberries, but we're not really a blueberry family, so we just stuck to the raspberries. And then confectioner sugar, or powdered sugar is what I would call it, for dusting, or of course maple syrup. So you cut the brioche into triangles first, which I thought was interesting. That was fun. Beat the eggs and milk in a shallow bowl with a fork. Heat half of the butter in the skillet. And I do have to say the butter was really important. I noticed, I was like, I'm not going to use all of this butter. 3.5 tablespoons of butter to do this. And I was like, actually, you kind of really do need the butter. Dip each triangle into the egg mixture, then transfer to the skillet. Cook over a medium heat until the underside is golden. Turn over and repeat. Then lift out of the skillet and keep hot. Heat the remaining butter in the skillet and cook the remaining brioche triangles. And I will say the brioche bread gets really soft, so when you're flipping it, do make sure you're kind of paying attention. And I used my finger and the spatula, just because it it's really flimsy when you're flipping, but it turns out really good. At first I thought that maybe it wasn't cooked enough, but it was already browned. But once you flip it and the backside starts to brown, it does get a little bit more crisp, so you're all good there. And then it says serve 2 triangles topped with a spoonful of yogurt, a sprinkling of berries, and a light dusting of sifted confectioner's sugar or drizzle of maple syrup, and serve immediately. So as you saw in the video, mine looked similar. I did not have the blueberries, but it did turn out quite good. It was a big hit at the table for us. Like I said, the brioche bread gets really, I wouldn't say soggy, but it's really flimsy. So do be careful as you're flipping. And I would say don't skip the cutting, because I was going to do that and I was like, no, I'm gonna follow the recipe to a T. And I could see if you didn't cut it, it would be very hard to flip because of the weight of the egg. So I'm glad that I followed the recipe. But other than that, it was really tasty. I never really have yogurt with French toast ever, and I thought that was actually really good. It combined well with the raspberries, and I actually got some of, you know, dairy in my diet then. And yeah, it was really, really good. So if you're interested in more recipes, and I'll make sure that I type all of that down below so that you have it for yourself, be sure to follow this series. I'll probably be doing a recipe once per month, so you won't see another one until February. But I'm having a lot of fun kind of going through and checking off the ones that I really like. So you'll definitely see more of this. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that you find some brioche bread and make yourself some love and friendship French toast. But until next time, I hope you all are reading something great, taking care, and staying safe. And as always, you know how it goes. Happy reading. Bye.